Hey folks, Landstryder here, and welcome to a very special episode of my Nightmare series in Agrarian Skies. This is going to be episode 20, and I think for celebration of my episode 20, I'm going to make my world available to download after I complete this episode. So you may notice behind me I've moved pretty much all the barrels I had spread out in the various systems and stuff. Move them all into the power generation room, core room, whatever you want to call this now. Okay, I'm back. Apparently I did a major screw up. I shut off my recording and didn't mean to, so I missed a whole bunch of stuff. I didn't record it. So what I ended up accidentally not recording was turning in a few quests, one of which was the Wands of Power quest. I ended up getting some fish jerky from that. Nothing good. I turned in another quest for the Hoarding quest, which was the Iceberg quest. I will go back up and explain some of the things that I have changed up there here in a second. But I'm right here with the wand that I want to make. I've made some gold cap. I explained that to get that bone bow that I wanted to make in episode 18, I was unable to do that until I had a wand that would actually be able to store up to 32 viz. So unable to do that with the regular wand, I decided I would make a reed wand core. And the reason I went with a reed wand core was because the great wood, while it's pretty good, the reed wand is supposed to be slightly better than the great wood core, and making a great wood sapling could possibly take a whole episode just because of the complexity of it and the pain in the butt amount of stuff that you have to get for it, the essence you have to get for it. So did the ceremony for the reed wand core. Unfortunately I didn't record any of that. But anyway, I'm going to get back on track here with my very special episode 20, which I missed about 15 minutes of recording, so I had to go back through and explain a bunch of stuff that I had thought I had recorded but didn't. Anyway, so I just went up and refilled my iron wand, so now I can get this gold banded reed wand, and that's going to now be my new wand. So how much can this hold? So if I hold shift up there, okay, it doesn't really say there. I guess I'll have to go fill it up to find out just how much it can hold. Okay, I guess what I didn't get on camera earlier was me showing all the changes I had done to the top of my platform here. I've cleaned this up. It's now nice and open. I've altered my garden, so my garden is now a 9x9. And something to note about that, I had to make some tin upgrades. I had a little laughable moment, because you might remember in a previous episode I had to make a tin upgrade for a quest, and I said, oh, I'll never need a tin upgrade, and I threw it over the edge. Well, I ended up needing 2 tin upgrades, so I had to make two new ones. I needed one for the harvester and one for the planter downstairs, which is right over here. You can see I'm growing 5 3x3 patches of lettuce, a patch of soybeans, a patch of tomatoes, and 3 patches of wheat. Moved all my barrels over here from the garden and from below. Moved all the mob spawn stuff from below up to here. You can see we've got pretty much all those resources. I've had to upgrade a couple of the barrels because they were just basically getting full, and I didn't want items going into my storage drives instead. And one of the things I wanted to note real quick is something I did to help that problem is I set my priority on all of these storage buses to a very high much higher than the drives over here. The drives, I think they're just 1. Yeah, they're just 1. So even if I did have some of those type of items in these drives before I got them managed, before I got the barrels hooked up to the storage to the ME system, any new incoming items will end up in those barrels because of the priority on the storage buses. I also connected these hoppers with basic export buses so that they stay full at all times, as long as there's materials in the materials enough in the ME system to do that. And probably going to build a molecular assembly chamber over here. And this room is basically going to become the industrial heart of my operations. It's already got the power system over here. Eventually I'm going to have a big reactor, but that's a few episodes away yet, I think. Maybe not. I mean, I've got a little bit of a start on it, and in fact, if I look at my quest book, and I come back over here to steel power, I've already completed the 3 Mile Island, which is just basically to make a graphite bar and a yellow iron and turn it in. So I probably could just go ahead and select what would I want for, but I think I would want the, plutonium, yellorium. I think I want the yellorium. So I still have to make some stuff from the yellorium. So having that would probably help out. Another life. Oh, now finally I get a awesome. That is an awesome reward. I might have to do bees in my next episode now that I have this stuff. That's insanely great. That's just great. I like that. So that puts bees one step closer. Toss this stuff in there, and I can install this heart, give myself a little bit more health. Okay. Something else I did was I moved this, moved my sludge boiler back just a little bit so I would be able to squeak past it without getting poisoned. And I set up my tree farm here so that 3 out of the 9 squares are planted with rubber trees too, so I could start, collecting more rubber. Let's head out here to this node and see how much this wand will hold. I'm pretty sure it's not going to be 100, but it should be maybe more than 50. Let's see. And I didn't want to do it because it might actually be okay. So 75. It'll hold 75 of each fizz. So that's going to tide me over for wands for a while. So maybe I can get lucky, and instead of having to actually do the enchantments for the silverwood sapling, do the infusion for it, because you can make one in the altar down there. Maybe I'll get lucky and I'll get one as a quest reward. I know that it's definitely an option as quest rewards go. So yeah, I made my tower, an interaction tower here in the middle. It has applied the has an interface here, which is got the vacuum hopper that was over there. I moved it over here. This is still in range to suck in this sugar cane. If I ever need more, I can just reactivate it with the I can put that block update detector back up there if I need to. It'll also collect the gravel here if I need to do that. I can, it'll still do that. The reason you see this tank up here is because between episodes I lost a life. I was messing around with my warp book, and I was trying to set warps to each one of these nodes out here. And the problem with trying to set your warp to a 1x1 or a 1x path is it doesn't exactly, the waypoint that you set isn't exactly where you're standing. So it ended up being like over here where the fence was at, and when I went to use it, when I used that warp point, I ended up in the fence and falling towards the void real rapidly. So fortunately, I had the home waypoint set in my book. I was able to just reopen the book and warp to my home point, which is like right here. Unfortunately, when you warp with the warp book, you maintain your momentum, your falling momentum. So I splatted right here on the platform, and this hopper was in place at the time, so it sucked up all my items. Not a bad thing, keeps them from going over towards the edge, and it also sucked up any of the experience I dropped from dying, which it didn't have a place to go at that point. And at that point, that's when I decided to go ahead and use that tank up there just in case that happens again. I don't think there's anything else that would cause experience to be formed up here. But, you know, if I somehow manage to fall through the sky and use my workbook to save my items, that might save a little bit of the experience that ends up on the ground. So anyway, that's what I've done to the platform. It's nice and clean now. I've got this nice garden going now. Oh, yeah, I got rid of the water that was here. Got rid of the pool. And I replaced that with an aqueous accumulator and a open block sprinkler on top of it, which keeps this 9x9 area watered, and it also increases the growth rate a little bit. Now, of course, if I really want to increase the growth rate, all I have to do is stand around here with my blood armor on, with the sigil of the Green Grove installed in it, and it'll just, you know, sit here and harvest and go crazy growth all day. Same with the tree farm over here. All I got to do is get near it with my sigil in my armor, and it just starts growing trees like mad. And of course, my bloodwood up there is continuing to give me lots of redstone. I found that an even easier way to get redstone is to go over to the nether and get some nether ore. And with the blood armor and my cleaver, I feel really overpowered over there, you know, in general, because even being swarmed by, you know, as many as 100 of the hellfish, I had no problem. Didn't die. Hardly lost any life. Eventually, I just warped away because I was, you know, kept getting webbed and whatever. And it wasn't that I was they were ever gonna be able to kill me. It's just it was annoying to try to get away from the group. And when the hellfish start spawning, they I don't know, one comes out and then he calls all of his buddies that are nearby, and then you, like I said, you end up with a few hundred of them, you know, all in the same small area, you know, coming at you. It's quite annoying. But with blood armor, it was no problem. I really stood no chance of dying. Something else I made between this episode and last was I put together this alchemical chemistry set. And the reason I did that mainly was because I wanted to be able to refill my potion of flight. I showed this earlier on camera, but I'll go ahead and drink a couple of charges from it again, just so I'd be able to show it again. And to refill this, all you got to do is make these weak filling agents. You can make better ones, but the weak filling agents refill 2 out of the 8 uses, and it's relatively easy to make. It's just a simple catalyst, nether wart, glowstone, and redstone. And the simple catalyst is just more redstone, glowstone, gunpowder, sugar, and another redstone. So get one of those out and go ahead and refill my flight. So also I have upgraded a number of the rooms in my altar, and I've been preparing the altar for a special ritual that I wanted to start on the. It's been doing a really good job of keeping my life pool full. I've got 1 million life pool right now. And go ahead and grab my flight potion back out of there. Basically, I've just been filling it up manually and then leaving the altar full, so that as I travel around the Nether or whatever, it keeps my pool full for the most part. And even on a long trip over to the Nether, I don't think I've used more than 100,000 life pool. Being attacked, even with 100 or so of the hellfish attacking me, it's really not been a problem. So you can see I put this, yeah, and the reason that those ritual stones are pre-placed is because I just didn't want to follow through there. Plus I was having bats spawn in here before I put these lights, and they were starting to fly out of there. It was just getting annoying. So I pre-placed these couple of ritual stones. It's not a big deal. And I did test this in a test world. In my test world, I actually had the master ritual where that stone is at, but I wanted to move it down just one block so that these ritual stones were even with that row of stairs. Otherwise they would stick up a bit, and if they stuck up like that, it wouldn't be visually unappealing or anything like that, but it would cause an issue in there inside my spawn room in here, which appears to be a little funky right now. It's been not this particular light has been not wanting to cooperate too well, but I keep having to change this. There we go. I don't know what it is about that, but sometimes the signal goes through there okay, sometimes it doesn't want to go through that block for some reason. And sometimes the signal goes through that block and turns this conveyor belt off. So that is something to note. If you apply a redstone signal to a conveyor belt, it stops conveying. So that's been a little bit of a very minor issue, but anyway, so yeah, to keep this from coming up and actually blocking this off, I'm moving it down one from what I did on my test world. So. Also, I moved this elevator up because you can't see it, but I did install the runes for the final tier of upgrade, tier 5. They're underneath there, so I had to move the elevator up one in order to accommodate those. So let me go grab my ritual diviner rod and some ritual stones and the master rune. These are the ones I got from a quest in a previous episode. And now it's time to put them to use. So I don't know if it got cut off earlier or not, but the thing I want to do for my episode 20 is I'm going to make my world available to download. So I want to get as much of this done as I can before I do that. And before I log off and stuff, I'm going to repair up all my tools, put my armor on a stand for anybody that does download it. Ritual binding, unbinding, high jump, magnetism, crusher, speed, shepherd, well of suffering. That's the one I'm looking for, the well of suffering. So let's start putting that in the room. I hope I have enough runes. Do I? Are they all in there? It looks like it's all there. Yeah, and then I had to hit it a couple more times to color those ones that I had pre-placed. Oh, shoot. Look at that. I am short 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, well that's not too bad. I just have to make 4 ritual stones, which that's probably not too bad. ritual stones. I should have... Okay, just had to get some obsidian. That might be an issue because I believe I ground up all the obsidian that I had in my system. I did. Because I've been making hardened glass. Preparing for the some other project. Actually for the big reactor. Because I want to have a... one of the sides I want to be glass so I can, you know, have a nice visually appealing reactor where you can see the cryothium inside of it. So, but I think this over here should have a little bit of, has enough lava built back up. Let's switch that over to obsidian and set that to drain back out. Yeah, something I've been thinking about is you know, I've cleaned up this area over here very well, I think. It's nice and clean. This area right here is still a little bit cluttered. I still have my witch water production here, and I think I want to move this and actually make this into a witch water / mushroom farm, because while witch water is being formed, it increases the likelihood of a mushroom spawning on this mycelium by some crazy amount. I'm not even sure there is a regular chance for a mushroom to spawn, but while witch farm's forming, it has a high probability of spawning several mushrooms on the mycelium around it. And the mycelium around it, like, it would actually be perfect because I could put a harvester here and have a complete circle of mycelium around it. That'd be 8 mycelium. And the more mycelium that the barrel is adjacent to, the faster it makes witch water, so it would be about 8 times faster than just having, say, 1 mycelium. So, which would also mean it would make mushrooms faster, so I would be able to farm mushrooms quite well, which I will need later for one of the Hell's Kitchen quests. So, oh yes, I got a little sidetracked there. I'm waiting for obsidian. Good. I got my obsidian. Need to switch this back to stone and get the barrel of, or bucket of lava out of there and reset that to continue to make lava. And the other thing is since I have a ender pump, and yeah, an ender pump, I could start pumping lava straight from the nether and, you know, put a tesseract up here to keep my smeltery full of lava and potentially use that as well to make my obsidian rather than have this I wouldn't say it's a mess. It doesn't look bad at all. I mean, this I could move to a different position, different place. And I don't probably need this. I probably won't need this for too much longer now that I have the ME system started. As soon as I get the molecular assembler chamber, it's going to take care of all that food production for me once I get to that stage. Drop back down all the way to the bottom here. I need 4 more ritual stones, and I can complete this. And let's see, ritual stones are, okay, apprentice. Actually, I had some of the right stuff there. 4 of those, apprentice orb, and 4 obsidian's going to give me the 4 additional ritual stones that I was short to finish up that ritual. Okay, and then come back down here. That do it. Looks like that is good. Yeah, that should do it. And I believe that once I activate this ritual, this room underneath here is going to basically, I'm going to knock these torches back out, and this will passively spawn mobs under here, and it should go ahead and then sacrifice them. Oh, dang, I didn't bring my activation sigil thing. At least it's not too far away. Maybe? Yeah, there it is. I'm done with that. And okay, here we go. This should... Oh, did it work? How can I tell? I guess if I go ahead and knock these out. Let me just look. Yeah, they're all the runes appear to be in place, and it wasn't allowing me to do anything more to the Master Stone, so I'm gonna assume that it's in place, working, and activated. I guess one way to find out would be to allow a bunch of stuff to spawn and move towards it and see if it starts working. Let me come up here real quick. This will let the mobs down there spawn a little faster. So, oh yeah, it's definitely working. I hear it. I hear it killing stuff. Yep, and I'm getting blood in there. And that's perfect. Perfect. So yeah, my Well of Suffering is in place, working, and so now I have passive generation of lifeable. So probably don't need to. Honestly, I'm pretty sure, not 100% sure, but I think that just the passive mobs that passively spawn in this room underneath will probably be enough to keep it topped off most of the time. And I may eventually change this whole giant spawn room over here to actively, or to function a little bit differently, to pull mobs off to the side and use them to generate experience and or mob essence, which will then be used to generate more mobs. Specifically, let's see, yeah, I still have flight going when I drank that potion earlier. Specifically, I've made this room right underneath my, or directly underneath my enchantment area. I've built this new room, which I will eventually put a cleaver in here. I will have a mob spawner from Mine Factory Reloaded, and then I will put some witch water along this back wall, maybe over here on the side, and I will spawn skeletons from the mob spawner, which will then get converted from the witch water, get converted into the black skeletons. Dang it, wither skeletons. And with a cleaver in there, I'll be able to get wither skeleton heads, and of course I have the vacuum hopper right there to collect items and experience directly into items will go directly into my ME system. And the reason I used a item duck here, an impulse item duck by the way, so it actually moves the items quite fast. The reason I did that is because I didn't really feel like I wanted to waste the power on running an ME cable down here, because each piece of cable increases the power usage of the system overall. And the item duct is really not too expensive to create, and it works quite well. I mean, it doesn't cost me any more additional power once it's installed. I mean, it's done, it's passive. And I moved my barrel up here so that it would be able to gather the experience from both the lower spawner and the this spawner as well. Now, something I could do, and I do it a lot in some of my other builds, but I don't think I will here, is in order to increase the efficiency of the mob spawner, I will often put a sewer directly beside the mob spawner so that the experience from whatever I use to kill the mobs, which usually to use an autonomous activator or a turtle, and I don't have turtles in this build, in this mod pack, so autonomous activator it is. the sewer will suck up the experience balls, convert them into mob essence, and feed them straight back into the auto spawner. Now I didn't really want to do that here because the main purpose of this and the one below is to feed my experience for enchanting. Where I probably will use that setup is when I do the pigs or farm animals, possibly. May conventionally use that style of I may remove that lower setup down there, that lower vacuum hopper and all those ducts that go down to the bottom, and replace those with a mob grinder, which would feed essence up to this room where I would spawn wither skeletons. Anyway, I'm not really sure exactly how I'm going to utilize that going forward, but I thought I would show it real quick because it's not complete yet though. So what I can do though is go finish filling up my wand. Wait, what did I need? I needed Perdido. I know I need Perdido. Let me check what I need for my bow. Fill the wand with that essence, or Viz I mean. And then I can go make my bow. I figured that out. And I got my bone bow. Awesome. This thing is very nice. Before I even, actually probably could go ahead and show you how it works regular. Let me grab some arrows. Love this thing. So you can see it rapid fires, it shoots pretty dang straight. Pretty nice. But I'm going to make it even better. Now I've already got the books that I want to add to it here. Hopefully I have enough experience in my thing here to do all these additions. Hopefully. So let's see what I need to do for the first one. First thing I want to put on it, because I definitely don't want to not have it on there, is repair. That's going to cost 6, so I need to get 2 levels. There we go. And repair, and now it will self-repair. Next I definitely want power 4, because I want it to do the most possible damage. So that's going to be 13 levels. That's a lot. I may not be able to get them, I may not have the experience to put all these on here just yet. But there's power. And the next one I think I want that's most important is infinity, so I don't have to expend arrows all the time, although I have lots of arrows. Imagine, it says 15 levels. I want to see if looting, okay, looting won't even go on there, so that one I don't have to even worry about. So, infinity. Alright. So the final one I want on there is punch 2. And it does show that it should go on there. Wait, how many levels? It's 20 levels. I am pretty sure that I'm not going to be able to squeeze 20 levels out of there. No. Okay, that's a little bit of a bummer, so I can't put looting on there. Didn't really think I would be able to, but I figured I would give it a shot. Toss that. That's an extra one. I made a bunch of copies, getting the bow ready. So that stuff's all good. I guess I can go ahead. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to activate my my big spawn room down here. A couple reasons. I need more life. I need more blood in my blood pool, because activating the ritual under here did take quite a. It took 50,000. It's already almost all full again, just from the passive mobs and the tiny bit of time I had this on earlier. What I'm going to do though is I'm going to take a few moments and get just enough experience to finish off my bow, and then I'm going to take it for a spin in the nether, and set up my pump over there. So should be able to get all that done for this episode without going too far over time. So I'm going to cut out this next little bit of just me slashing mobs for the next 10 or 15 minutes. Just come back for a minute. I just wanted to show this how awesome this bow is for this. It just massacres these guys. Oh, and I think maybe it was in episode 18 or something, I showed that I changed up my configuration in there of the conveyor belts, and in preparation for installing corporeal attractors from Thaumcraft, and but I discovered that the corporeal attractor is actually from Thaumic Tinker, which is not in this pack. So I've been hashing around ways to do something similar that is in this pack, and what I have discovered is that from Mariculture there is this awesome thing called a mob magnet. Unfortunately, it's impractical for what I want to use, because the mob magnet, for one, to bind it, you have to kill a mob with the magnet, and it don't hit very hard. And then once it's bound, it uses up its endurance every time you use it, based on the number of mobs that it actually attracts. But this one is set to Enderman. I had a bunch of other ones in there, but they died so fast. This is really cool. Watch, like every Enderman that's on the map will suddenly be right there, and it drew them all to right there. So thought I would mention that real quick. It's kind of neat, but like I said, impractical for wide-scale use, because it will run out of endurance relatively fast. So anyway, back to shooting a few more mobs. And just obliterate these guys quick and in a hurry. And the conveyor belts are nice. They'll bring the experience right up to where the vacuum hopper will eventually get them. Okay. So yeah, now I can jump back up here. I should have enough. Well, actually, I think. Oops, too far. I should have enough experience. Oh yeah, look at that. It's almost full. Just this little tank, not the reserve tank, but we need 20 levels, I believe, to go ahead and finalize my bone bow into the most awesome ranged killing thing that you can probably make with Thaumcraft. Although that might arguably be the wand focus of lightning. It just depends on how you look at it. The nice thing about the bone bow is it's got an incredible range and a very rapid fire rate compared to any other bow. I think personally, I think it probably beats most of the Tinker's Construct things that you could bows that you could make. I probably didn't need to use my bridge. I could have just used my warp book to go over there. But so let me get my pump. There it is, my endothermic pump. And I'm going to need a Tesseract. There's my Tesseract. And I'm going to also want to get a magmatic dynamo. And this will probably be the only time you see me craft a magmatic dynamo in this series, because I mean, these guys are nice, but I mean just about everybody makes these for their power systems. I see a lot of people use these as their primary power, which is why I really never used them in my build, because not that they're not good. I mean, they're great. They're relatively easy to make, and you can make an infinite amount of lava with the stone crucibles. But I went with this system with the potion generators and this whole elaborate setup because nobody else does this. I don't think I've seen anybody use this particular setup for their power generation. And it will probably eventually, outlive its usefulness, especially once I get a laser drill going. This is never going to power a laser drill. It will, however, power my ME system, no problem, and all the machines of my industrial core, basically. It will power this and my harvesters and stuff like that, no problem. It'll keep it powered, and it'll even, once I have a few other bits and pieces installed, it will, self-regulate, continually power itself. Minus the drill, because the drill will be what brings in the glowstone dust eventually. I think the drill will bring me glowstone dust. If not, that will be the one thing I have to occasionally go out and gather. And I gathered a lot of that. In fact, you can see that hopper is full, and I should have 19 more stacks over here in a barrel, so I shouldn't have to worry about glowstone for some time. I gathered a whole lot of it using the Wand of Equal Exchange over in the Nether, on my last trip over there. So, on to the Nether, and we're going to do a couple things while I'm over there. Probably should fix this pick soon. It'll be alright for this trip. Oh, almost forgot. I need a couple things to make my magmatic dynamo actually work. So I'm going to need some ducts. I need a few pieces of duct. And I'm going to need a bit of conduit, because I'm pretty sure the endothermic pump won't accept the RF directly from the magmatic dynamo. It may, because it's extra utilities, and extra utilities power generation is RF. But just in case, I'm going to go ahead and grab a... let me get a hardened one. No, actually, it isn't going to matter because the magmatic dynamo can't make more than 80 a tick. And I think it only makes 40, actually. So the leadstone energy conduit, which can carry 80, will be more than enough to carry the full power of the magmatic dynamo. And I don't think it's even going to be outputting its full power most of the time. Basically, as soon as... Okay, I got a buddy. Mr. Pigman, I don't know how he spawned in here, but he definitely spawned in here and didn't, like, wander in. And I'm probably over time at this point. Do I have flight still going? I do not. Let me go ahead and drink a flight potion. Charges here. Okay, and there we go. And thankfully, because of my blood armor, or not because I don't have my blood armor on, I'm... Ooh! Good thing I noticed that. Get that on right now. There we go. Ouch! Ouch! That would have been that would have been embarrassing. Other than, extremely painful to replace all the stuff I had on me at the time. Yikes! So I've already got another work point. Takes me right back to right beside my building here. So, whew, that could have been extremely bad. Good thing now that I have my lava sigil in my leggings, I can properly demonstrate that lava does nothing to me. Yeah, that was kind of a silly mistake, but fortunately I recognized there was a problem in time to correct it. So, okay, so anyway, a little bit of an island here in the middle of all this lava. And it looks like a perfect... Something to note when you place one of these endothermic pumps down, you want to make sure that you put it right on a block that is level with all the lava, the lake of lava that you're trying to suck up. So that is the proper positioning for one of these things. And leadstone conduit, magmatic dynamo. Now I want to do that. So what that's going to do is as soon as this starts pumping, it's going to pump lava into the magmatic dynamo, which is going to then power the pump and continue to make it pump. So it's self-powering, more or less. Put this tesseract down. I think this one is set to main. I think I'm going to change it. It's going to be called lava. And that's going to be on channel 2. And there we go. Add that to the channels. So it should... This particular one should only be fluid mode send only. That's the only thing this needs to do. And I could have probably could have just attached it straight to that and put it on the main channel and set it to receive energy and send fluid, and I wouldn't have needed this extra stuff. But I don't really want this to be drawing power off of my main power system. I want it to be self-sufficient as far as power goes. But what I do need to do, in order to get this working, I have to kickstart it by adding just a bit of lava to the dynamo. I'm going to come up and grab one of these ones out of the ceiling, just, I don't know, just because I feel like it. There we go. Just because I didn't want an uneven surface here. And I toss that in the magmatic dynamo, and it should immediately start powering the pump, and then, yeah, see, the lava's already filled here. This will be in, there's a little bit of where it started to actually pump the lava from, and I might have made a mistake here, because I didn't check first to make sure, but I'm good, I'm good. You want to make sure that your entire setup is within the same chunk as the actual pump. Otherwise, like if this dynamo was like on this side of this chunk line, it wouldn't load the dynamo as soon as you went and walked away from it. Now, the nice thing about an endothermic pump is it will load its chunk and whatever chunk it is sucking lava from at the time. So it doesn't need its own loader, it'll load itself. And so long as put that right aside here, and go ahead and put my armor on there, and I'm going to go ahead and take the couple of the yellow hearts that I have. I'm going to take them out, put them in there. And I think this is where I'm going to wrap it up, and I'm going to make my world available for download at this current point. I hope you enjoyed the episode. I hope that you've enjoyed the series so far. Please comment, feedback, like, all that fun stuff. Subscribe, please. I'm not really big on shameless self-promotion, but it's obvious that I need to do some because I've not gotten as much attention as I would like to at this point. Hopefully that will change. I know that once a few people start to like and enjoy it and start watching episodes and commenting and stuff like that, it'll probably snowball. I'm definitely enjoying myself. I hope other people are enjoying watching how I'm progressing through the Agrarian Skies stuff. But anyway, I will catch you next time later, and don't forget to download and check out my world.